Welcome to Chattergang, a pod about the magic and the gathering. I'm your host, Hope Speakin. You can call me Jose. And I mean, we haven't technically started until right now, but this episode is already off the rails. It's an absolute blast. We're gonna have a special guest today from behind the scenes, Jase. Say hi, Jase.
Hi, Jase.
And then we're also gonna have such an amazing content creator, someone who, if my math is correct, around 75,000 follows on all platforms because he's amazing and funny and hilarious and into all the nerd stuff. Mr. Dogo. MrDogoDude, how you doing?
Perceive me.
Yes, perceived. Good.
Also, I think your math is pretty solid on that. I think that's about where I'm sitting right now. Add everything together.
Yeah, when you add all the things, because you're doing, and you have a lot on TikTok, you have a lot on Insta, you have a lot on, I think it's Facebook
and YouTube. Yeah.
And YouTube. Yep. So you're doing some time, right?
It breaks my soul to be on Facebook, but goddamn, is that where the money is?
Make that money, man. Make that money. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, if you wanna actually, like, you know, and I think a lot of our dreams or goals or hopes is to someday do this as a full-time career. If you have any hope of achieving that, you have to be on Facebook. That's just fucking Mark Zuckerberg meta. I hate that place.
Yeah. Does that include Insta and Threads, or is it just Facebook?
So Insta and Threads are an interesting devil. I've always debated this with other content creators for years. I don't see the merit of Instagram personally, just because, like, they don't have monetization. They're how you work directly with sponsors on Insta is kind of wonky. But what I have learned is that you can actually, because it's all owned by Meta, basically whatever I post on Insta just auto posts to Facebook. So it's kind of like, why not just do both, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, and you're right. Like at the end of the day, whether or not it becomes a thing, it's nice if it does. So if you can find ways to do that, I mean, why not?
Are you on TikTok? Are you on TikTok?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like my main bread and butter right now is TikTok.
Yeah. So we have to explain why I'm here. I'll just do it because Jose's bad at his job. So it's becoming a meme amongst me and myself and I that I don't really know anybody we talk to on here. I am not online, like, at all, but you are the first guest we've had that I actually know about. Woo! And that's because at one point, and I don't think you have nearly as many followers as you do now, but at that point, you were kind of a weird linchpin in my relationship for memes. Like, between my partners.
That's awesome.
So I separately got sent 2 different messages on 2 different platforms, I believe, of not magic content, not superhero content, not a mechs, anything like that, but Beyblades.
Oh no.
It was Beyblade content because I love Beyblades, and I got
the Beyblades.
How well do Beyblades work in a bathtub? And I went, oh, really fucking well. I did this a long time ago.
That was such a fun saga for me on the internet because So I did that video, and, you know, whenever you do any kind of thing on the internet, you inevitably get people coming out of the woodworks trying to tell you how you did something wrong. And the amount of people that were like, you're going to destroy the enamel on your bathtub. Like, I legitimately was ripping them as hard as I could and, you know, whatever. So people kept pointing out that there was, like, a very famous Reddit thing, like 10 or 15 years ago, where these kids destroyed their bathtub, and the mom did the whole, like, parents shaming their kids on the internet thing and sold all their Beyblades, but made them, like, pose with their Beyblades.
I remember that.
Was, like, crying his eyes out, and the other one looks really pissed off. And I jokingly claimed that I was one of the kids in the photo.
I remember this.
Which, the math, it just doesn't, like, people are so, I'm sorry, like, I'm going to sound like such a snooty content creator, and people are going to get mad at me for this, but I don't care. I am unapologetically me. The vast majority of the people who follow me are borderline brain dead, because that photo was, like, 10 years old, and the kid in the picture is like 5. I am clearly a fully bearded mid-30s
15-year-old
adult man, and people were like, "No way, you're that kid!" And I'm like, "There's no way. There's no way." But enough people believed it that I was like, you know what? How long can I ride this? I made like 6 follow-up videos, and to this day, I'm still getting comments on those videos of people being like, "Whoa, the Beyblade kid is coming back to the internet." I'm like, you guys can't seriously think I'm this kid, but they did. So,
just for the record,
what was actually even funnier about it, it's not even so like the people that believed it were funny, but the funnier ones were the people who got angry because I was lying about it, and instead of getting that it was a joke, they would be like, it's really screwed up to lie on the internet for clout, pretending to be somebody. I'm like, you can't be serious about this.
You can trust everything you read on the internet. Abraham Lincoln, 1863.
Exactly. It's literally the Abe Lincoln quote meme thing, and it's like, so I made a follow-up video, and I was like, okay, you guys are right. I'm not the kid in the video. I'm actually the other kid in the. It was so fun. I had a lot of fun with my Beyblade era of TikTok. It was very fun.
If we ever meet in person, I will be bringing a wok, some lighter fluid, and some Beyblades, and we're gonna set some Beyblades on fire and battle to the death.
Oh, well, absolutely, 100%. I actually every convention I go to, I have like a little fold up travel stadium, and I bring like a pocket full of Beyblades, and my goal is to get like as many content creators as possible to rip a Beyblade with me.
And your boy won, by the way.
You did.
Your boy won.
You're like one of only 3 people that beat me in Atlanta.
You really aligned with your bit beast, Jose. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Hey, man. You know, I never Beybladed before that moment. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say like I knew exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, you have mad Liger energy.
Yeah.
This is my custom Liger Zero bit beast. So the context for why I got sent Beyblade stuff is Beyblade X is on Netflix, and I'm not gonna sponsor Netflix unless, you know, hey, like I said in the last time I was on here, I'm a sellout. I'll sell whatever you want. I'll say nice things about you if you give me money. But you're not, so I'm not gonna put you on here. So we were watching Beyblade X, and my wife got super into it, and she was even like, "Hey, how much do Beyblades cost?" And I was like, "Fuck yes, finally someone to do Beyblades with." And then they all both started sending me your content, and I was like, "Hey, this guy's funny." And then when you followed me, when you signed up for this podcast, I was like, "That name looks familiar. Oh, I'm already following that guy." I'm like, "Oh shit, that's the Beyblade guy." Well,
you know, like they say, never meet your heroes. I'm actually like a massive bigot, so.
Oh no. Jose, are you wearing your foundation?
That's what we call a joke.
That is a joke.
Yeah. No, but it's funny. It's funny you bring up the sellout thing, because I have said for years, and I stand by this. If the brand Depends paid me enough money, I would literally poop in a diaper in front of the camera for views. Like I am totally fine with being a sellout. Like I don't care who the sponsor is. If you pay my bills for a month, I'll advertise just about anything.
I've sold 33 years of my life to a bunch of different assholes. What's the difference for doing it on camera for more money? I don't give a shit.
That's why people get so incredibly upset when I do like TikTok shop videos on TikTok. But like also they pay my bills, so I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing them, and I get free stuff. So
I was gonna say, actually, as it comes to that stuff, someone who's been doing a hilarious job about it recently is Bigger Gayer Magic. Shout out!
I love his content.
And whenever he gets something, he's like, I think recently he just got a shower head. He's like, if you don't want to see me in the shower, and I'm like, dude, he's just like, I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. Also, great dude. So like his content is hilarious.
I told Monica that if
BGM and I are boys, and we trade advice all the time, especially when it comes to TikTok Shop, because I mean, he's just doing a bang up job on TikTok. He's really killing it.
I want a shower video with both of you. I don't know who the other person is, but I was going to say, if we ever got sponsored and it was by a mattress company, I'd be so goddamn mad, because we just bought a new mattress. Like, already spent that money.
My like number one get Like if I could get any company to sponsor me, I want a Blue Chew sponsorship so bad.
Really?
The boner videos that I could make, like I could make some of the funniest ads on the planet.
Hold on. What is this? What is Blue Chew?
Say I'm a sponsored creator, sponsored by Blue Chew, would just be the highlight of my career.
Blue Chew is mailed and like in the mail, essentially Viagra.
It's male enhancement drugs.
It's chewable Viagra. It's insane. It's illegal to sell.
It's male enhancement dip.
Yeah, it's like fucking no, like 17. Dude, I've already had like a bunch of ideas in the can because I email them like probably once a month asking them to work with me, and like I've got a video planned to like do fun dip, but it's crushed up Blue Chew. Like
Jose and I will do a sword fight.
Oh my, this episode. So I told you off the rails, people. It's fun, but honestly, I don't blame you because I mean, okay, so I'm a wrestling fan, and I went to All In 2017, like the very, very first before AEW fully became a thing. And Blue Chew was everywhere. So I've known about it for a while. And now to see like commercials and people getting like paid, like I don't blame you, man. I do not blame you.
Jose, would you guys like to hear a story about wrestling people?
Sure.
This might get cut out. I might cut this out because it's a little. So Jose kind of knows that I was like entrenched in the wrestling community when I was younger. And because I'm from like Florida, I worked at Universal Studios where they used to film TNA. And even before I could legally have a job, I used to go. We knew people who were in wrestling. Like I used to talk to Mikey Batts and one of the Hardy brothers or whatever their names are. Jeff Hardy.
Fake fan.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch wrestling. So I worked at Universal and I would clean their changing rooms and their locker rooms and stuff. I met Sting once, asked me about basketball. I don't watch sports, so I had no idea what to talk to him about. But I will say I have seen a lot of those men naked, and there's no amount of chew that's going to help them. A lot of them, they are roided out.
Yeah, they're all on like a bucket of steroids every night. Like it's not a surprise.
Yeah. So anyways, Blue Chew, sponsor me. I just heard of you, but whatever.
My dream sponsor used to be Bad Dragon.
Oh, hell yeah.
For your listeners that don't know what that is, just Google it.
Also, don't necessarily support them either. They're kind of
No,
but unless they're paying us.
I have since changed my stance on them, especially when I found out that like apparently some of their molds that are animal themed were actually made from like the owner's pet animals.
Oh, that's rough.
And now I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this company. I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's like that stuff where when you get a tattoo from someone and they add like something that is personal to them to your tattoo,
like a dog dick.
Or no,
so that's not a joke. They sell a dog version that it was made from the owner's dog.
I know.
And they also sell a horse that was made from the owner's personal horse.
Any of you guys seen Mr. Hands?
I have a lot of questions about how you made that mold, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I did not
podcast brought to you by Blue Chew.
Now for your pets.
It could be harder.
Oh my god.
See? Sponsor me.
Why is the underside of this man's desk so crusty?
I'm just gonna flood the rest of this episode with subtle Blue Chew ads.
You know, that's fair. Actually, you know, speaking of something that you should be doing, in my opinion, I'm gonna try to bring this back on the rails a little bit, but also not. Why you've been doing this for a long time? 2021, right?
About that, yeah. This is like towards the tail end of the pandemic.
What's your favorite thing you've done, and why aren't you doing the road show anymore?
Oh my god, deep cut. You know about MTG Roadshow? Oh, okay.
I don't know about this.
So basically, like Jesus, man, you dug deep. So
you're MrDogoDude. We had to. My wife hates when I say that, by the way, because of Narwhal, but yeah, whatever.
Basically, it was like, okay, so for anyone that has seen my content, it wasn't always as like jackassy as it is now. Once upon a time, it was actually fairly serious content. And the MTG Roadshow was like, basically I would find like really obscure aspects of the game and do like a little mini documentary with like ASMR type voice, like welcome back to MTG Roadshow. We're going to go over this really rare card or whatever.
Oh, is it like Antiques Roadshow?
It was a parody of Antiques
That's
Roadshow.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, but instead of Antiques, it was like, you know, the card that Mark Rosewater used to propose, or not Mark Rosewater, Andrew Garfield. Not Andrew Garfield, that's the Spider-Man. Rosewater, I don't know. When the dude that proposed his fiance,
Richard Garfield, is that his name?
Richard Garfield, that's the guy. Or like there's an Optimus Prime card that there's only like 7 in existence, and it was given to like workers that worked at WotC, you know, back in like 2016 or whatever. And so yeah, it was like a little Antiques Roadshow, but like for Magic cards. And the reason why I stopped doing it, it's not even that deep. It's honestly just one of the unfortunate realities of being a content creator. It wasn't getting views. I really enjoyed making that content, and I really tried to make it work. I even brought it back at one point, like a year or two later after I, you know, defunct it, and it just didn't take off then either. And you know, my content strategy from the very beginning has been very simple. Try something, and if it works, ride that pony, and when it stops working, get off the pony. And that pony just never took off, unfortunately. I think like at its peak, my best antique or Magic Roadshow video did like 1,200 views, which, you know, I'm not trying to bash anyone. Like, you know, if you're an up and coming creator, 1,200 views, you know, might seem like a good number for you, but 2 years into content creating, if you're struggling to hit 1,000 views on a certain video topic, make some changes to it is all I'm saying. And, you know, I ultimately tried a couple new things. Those things took off. And so when those things took off, it left MTG Roadshow in the dust. So
that's totally fair. I enjoyed watching them personally.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed making them, but that's not even the only example of over the years, like a content strategy that I've attempted that I really enjoyed that I just ultimately had to abandon. One of my favorite things that I've always done to answer your original question, I am obsessed with when Magic cards, when the artwork tells a story that's maybe not necessarily a part of the actual story, or maybe not even like in the flavor text, but like the artworks will connect to tell a story. Sometimes it's like literally you can hold the cards next to each other, or in some cases it's just like each piece of artwork is telling the next part of the story. And when you put the 4 pictures together, you get like a fun little, you know, story or whatever. And there's so many examples of that. There's like hundreds and hundreds of examples of that throughout the game's history. And so I would do videos of like, hey, you know, in this video, this character is like, you know, karate chopping this guy. And then and in the next card, you see that guy's on the ground. And in the card after that, he's like at his friend's funeral or something. And like it tells the story. And those were doing pretty well for a while. But what really screwed me on those is a couple years ago, maybe, I don't know, whenever TikTok revamped their creator fund, their whole creator program, to basically now you have to make minute-long videos or you can't monetize. And when I was making those, you didn't have to do that. So I could make a 30-second video of like, hey, this is this card. It goes into this card. These 2 cards make a story. That's really cool. And then that video could get 50, 60,000 views. And, you know, I could get a little bit of kickback from that. But needing to stretch those out to a full minute really killed the content, because at the end of the day, if I'm trying to tell you that 2 cards have a picture that relate to each other, that's not a minute-long video. And so when I try to stretch it out to a minute, people don't watch it because, like, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Did you do the orangutans fucking one?
Yep. I did the orangutan.
The most well-known one, I think.
With the monkeys banging. Yeah. Then you get the monkeys pregnant. Then you get the monkey born. Then you get Uktabi orangutan raising the baby. Yeah. So that's a great example of what I was doing, is like showing the connections between those cards. Because you'd be surprised how many people, like even the famous ones like the Uktabi orangutan, there's a lot of people that don't know that those cards connect. You know, they don't know that there's a silver border version where you see the baby being born. They don't know that the latest one, what was it, Uktabi Prince or whatever, is the baby from Uktabi Orangutan, where they're banging in the background. Like a lot of people don't know that, so I was really enjoying like bringing that to the spotlight. But yeah, once I had to start making those videos a minute long, they went from on average 20 to 40,000 a video to 200 to 300 a video. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, as much as I enjoyed making those videos, when about the fifth one flopped, it was like, okay, it's time to retire this concept and try something new.
It's really hard I was going to say it's really hard that, and especially I'm sure that when they came out with the scene boxes for like Universe Beyond, it didn't help anything either. They're literally just making, a whole scene together as opposed and not making as many things that are connected in the artwork of the cards as they are just let's make a whole scene and then put it in a box and sell it to people.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing is that content style definitely had an end. Like eventually I was going to run out of ideas, so it was that was another factor of like trying to come up with new ideas for when I ran out of ideas for that. And then when I started trying those ideas and they just worked better, I just ended the connected artwork thing early. But it's also like, and this might annoy some people listening, and that's fine. I'm just going to be completely honest. When you start making money as a content creator, whether it's through sponsors, whether it's through, creator funds or whatever, it really becomes a grass is always greener on the other side thing, because obviously making money is awesome and everybody wants to make money and everybody wants to do this professionally and make money. But when you start making money doing this and it starts paying your bills, and therefore your real world life is directly tied to how well your content does, it stifles creativity like you would not believe. Because there are some creative things I would love to try, or some concepts I would love to bring back. But now I've built my life around this to the point where like, I'm not a full-time content creator, but making content does pay a portion of my bills. And so if I get creative or if I get experimental and those things don't work, then I have a harder time paying my bills. And so unfortunately, the creative process for me these days really is like, the number one thing I have to be concerned with is this going to do numbers? Versus back in the day, I had the freedom of being like, okay, I think this is funny. I'm going to put this out there and hopefully someone laughs about it. I can't have that same level of freedom anymore. Now it's, I'm going to put this out there and I need someone to laugh about this. And so there's been many videos that don't even make it off the drawing board, that it's like, oh, this is a really funny idea, but would people get the joke? Would it work? Would the algorithm take it? What other content like it have I made? Did that content do well? If not, this is probably not going to do well. It's not really worth my time to film. It's not worth my time to post, that kind of thing. So yeah, I hate to sound like, it's the whole like a guy drowning complaining to a guy that's dying of thirst. It's like, I hate to complain about making money, but it definitely, if I'm just being honest, it has really, really screwed up the creative process for me.
I have a question. Do you get like metrics on your viewership and who like sees your content?
I do, yes. Instagram does a pretty good job of providing that. TikTok does a pretty good job of providing that. YouTube is a liar, and I don't believe what they say.
How big is your like viewership of men in their 30s?
That's a good question. I can actually, I want to say that's actually the majority of my viewership.
So me.
Probably.
Yeah, because I'm watching all your shit and I'm like, we grew up in a very similar time.
Yeah, a lot of my humor is definitely like aging white dude humor. Let's see.
So you're Dane Cook? Is that what I'm getting at?
Figure this out. I know.
Listen, we don't have to talk about Gen X Jesus right now, okay? We're a little younger than Dane Cook, Jose. I'm younger than Jose, at least.
I'm the oldest one here.
Oh, okay. I imagine Doggo's very close to my age.
I'm old enough to vividly remember 9/11. Let's put it that way.
Same. So I was in 4th grade. I remember exactly where I was sitting, the TV I was watching, and who I was with.
Wait, 4th grade?
Yeah.
I think I got you by a year. I was in 5th grade.
The fifth grade class was right next to me. We all joined together and watched as that second plane hit the tower, and autistic Jason didn't realize how bad things were. But I was also 7.
Oh, brother, I actually have a pretty funny story about that.
I love 9/11 stories.
Talking about downplaying 9/11, I remember exactly where I was, and I remember exactly what I fucking said. And looking back on it, my God, I remember I was on the playground and some kids came running out. So at the time I was living in northern or middle Jersey, wherever the hell Camden, New Jersey is. So not far from New York. It's way closer to Philly, but like New York adjacent, because New Jersey's, New York adjacent. So, 9/11 affected a lot of people in my area because, people had family members. In fact, actually, my dad was working at the Pentagon at the time. Thankfully, it was his day off. But I almost had a Gerard Way moment. But yeah, so I was on the playground. Some kids come running out. They're like, terrorist bombed the Twin Towers, terrorist bombed the Twin Towers. I didn't even fucking know what the Twin Towers were, but I had been playing a lot of like SWAT-based video games, like the police force. And I was so smug about it. I was like, I'm not worried about it. SWAT will handle it. They'll probably get the terrorists. And, I've played this game many times. It's not a big deal. And then I get home and I turn on the news and I'm like, oh, this is a big deal. That's an airplane.
Oopsies.
Yeah.
I had a while where the algorithm on Instagram and TikTok both were just showing me 9/11 jokes for like a good month. And anytime, I think Jose was around when this happened, because I was at the shop and I would just open my Instagram and it was a 9/11 joke. And I'm like, what's happening? What's going on with everybody? It's like March.
I love 9/11 jokes. Listen, I feel like I'm allowed to make 9/11 jokes because 9/11 brainwashed me into joining the military. So like, I feel like I earned my 9/11 joke card by serving.
Oh, same.
Somehow a perfect segue.
All the friends I've lost for 9/11.
I need to backtrack because I realized that a lot of people don't actually know this. When I made the statement that I almost had a Gerard Way moment, a lot of people don't know that My Chemical Romance only happened because of 9/11.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't know.
Gerard Way's dad was he died during 9/11.
Wow.
And he formed the band as like a form of therapy to get past the passing of his dad. So if you are a big My Chemical Romance fan, you can thank Al Qaeda for that.
Dude.
Let's all do it together.
Nope.
Thanks you, Al Qaeda.
Man, this episode's gonna be chopped to shit.
I'm not chopping that out. Are you kidding me? I've had enough friends die and enough people die in front of me to go, I can handle that joke.
Al Qaeda literally blew me up. I'm allowed to joke.
Yes.
Again, I have a card. I'm fine.
I've had so many friends die for a Camaro. I had 2 generations of friends that went, I want a Silverado or a Ram or whatever they were offering at the time, and a whole nother group of friends that died because they wanted a Camaro after the Transformers movie came out, which is military propaganda, everybody. I've seen 2 different generations just feed themselves to war. So you know what? I'm going to make a goddamn joke.
A Camaro and a stripper wife. That's what we were promised, okay? I never got the stripper wife, and I crashed my Camaro. I had a bad time.
Speaking of the...
Shout out to Al Qaeda.
Speaking of the...
Official sponsors of this podcast, Al Qaeda.
I might cut that out.
Oh, that's the one you cut out? That's the one? God damn. Right,
I have no gauge for what's offensive to the public.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a deep listen of this one. So to go back to something you mentioned. So you mentioned that your dad was military, right? Worked Pentagon.
Yep.
And it led you to also join the military, correct?
Yeah, it was a combination of that. Both my brothers were in. I have 2 older brothers, and they both signed up before I could. Really, like my family, the men in my family have fought in every war going back to like whatever one was like right before World War One. My family immigrated here before World War One, and yeah, just every single man has served in every single conflict, you name it. So it was kind of one of those things where it was like I sort of almost felt obligated, but also I was a child of the mid 2000s who grew up on the Transformers movies and video games and Call of Duty and was incredibly brainwashed and incredibly thought that, I'm going to save the world, which I, now know was not the case. But at the time, I thought I was doing my patriotic duty and all that nonsense. And
for people who need context of this timeline, and I'm getting a little serious with the propaganda thing, Xbox 360 Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was the popular game by the time I would have graduated high school.
And that game was incredibly propagandized. But I mean, it was everything. Military culture. I don't like people who are on the younger side who were kids in the early 2000s, or God forbid, because I'm getting to that age, weren't even around in the early 2000s. From like '01 to, I would say, like 2009, 2010, military culture was all the hype in the United States. I mean, it was in the music, it was in the movies. We semi-joked about Transformers a couple times, but that's, if you look it up, that's actual fact. The Transformers Michael Bay movies were funded by the United States Army. That's why there's always
military. Yeah. And they've got a lot of emphasis on the military, like planes. They have emphasis on the militarized, just convoys. But I will say in the second movie, I believe it is, you do get to see giant metal balls on the pyramids of Egypt. So that's kind of cool.
You do get to see giant metal balls, yes, by the United States Army.
Egypt is hot.
But yeah, so when you factor in the incredible amount of brainwashing that was going on to our entire generation, and then the fact that, the legacy situation of my family joining, it was kind of one of those things where, I've always been the black sheep of my family, but when I was younger, I desperately wanted to not be that. So I wasn't about to be the one guy in 4 generations of my family to not join the military. So I signed up, and if I had a time machine, I would not have done that. It's funny. There's this like
on a stringent BMI scale at that. Good for you. That was so bad back then. Like 180 pounds, I think you had to be for me.
When I signed up specifically, they were giving waivers to everything. We desperately needed people. So like, there was almost nothing. In fact, one of the guys in my unit, my team leader for like a year, so he was a couple ranks above me, was a convicted murderer.
Hell yeah.
He had gone to jail and served 10 years for beating a guy to death with a shot glass at a bar.
Holy crap. That's intense. That's a real murder.
Yeah, and he got a waiver for that. And he was in the infantry. So
yeah, he's perfect infantry fodder. So
he was a sergeant. He was an E5.
Let me just say, they were immediately suspicious of me when I went to go join the Army, because they were like, all right, you look like you're going to weigh in fine. They weighed me and they're like, you're like 220 pounds. I was like pure muscle. I used to be like a muscle head. And they were like, yeah, you got to lose that weight before we can let you in. Let's get you an ASVAB. What's that stupid test you take? The ASVAB? They're like, ASVAB. Let's get you the ASVAB voucher. And I did it. And they were like, that score is really high. What did you want to go in for? Infantry? And they were like, what are you doing? Why are you going into infantry? They were like, he's trying to kill himself. That's why.
Yeah, I had a fairly similar situation. My ASVAB was pretty high, and they kept trying to make me change MOSs, but I fought hard to get into the infantry because I'm what you call an idiot. And I wanted to shoot the cool pew-pews. And in retrospect, like I was starting to say, like that, there's this trend on TikTok right now that I really want to parody, where basically like you show yourself doing whatever makes you happy right now. So like, say you're a cosplayer, you like show a video of you cosplaying and there's like sappy music and it says like, at a certain point in your life, you're going to consider cosplaying. It's very important that you do it. It'll change your life forever. I really want to parody that trend and be like, a recruiter is going to convince you to join the Army. It's very important, ... Actually, no, screw that. In retrospect, don't do it. Please run. This trend is dumb. Like,
right.
But yeah, no. If realistically, it was not the greatest decision that I made. But yeah, it was like I said, tons of brainwashing, tons of family.
At least you
stuff.
made it out to the other side. I know so many.
Yeah.
Well, I knew so many people who didn't. So
Really?
I'm glad. Hey, it's something. We've all got scars and injuries from that, so I get it.
It has it has really shaped my sense of humor.
Same.
I think the potential brain scrambling that occurred from a mortar round has made me as funny as I am. So shout out to our official sponsors, Al Qaeda.
Al Qaeda!
Love to joke that, like, when people really like a certain like video or something that I made, if it's one of the funnier ones, I'll be like, yeah, you could thank Al Qaeda for that video. Because if my brain had not been scrambled, I probably wouldn't be this funny.
I wasn't even in that part of the world for what I did, so.
Yeah. Also, I love how the bit changed from Blue Chew sponsors.
Y'all are I off the rails, off the motherfucking rails, you two.
I want to know. I've never met this man. This is my first time meeting him. We didn't talk before this. We didn't message each other. I just text Jose this morning and said, I think I'm going to be in today's episode, not going to lie.
Your energies match very well.
Trauma.
Like trauma.
For those listening, they're completely lying. This whole thing is staged. We've been friends since like elementary school.
Yeah.
They're lost cousins.
We were pen pals between Jersey and Florida.
Also, for those that can't figure it out, that was a joke.
Or was it?
Actually, I don't know if you know this. In the letters that they sent each other, Mr. Dogo was the other one.
I actually don't even know Mr. Dogo's government name. Like, that's not a bit. I really don't know his name.
No one does. He's been Doggo his whole entire life.
I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't love my name, but also there's actually a more serious reason for why I am very strict about which creators and which like people online get to know my name, and that is because there has been a hit out for me on r/free magic.
Those fucks. Oh my God. Yeah. I want to punch every single one of them. When I say a hit out,
I literally mean like somebody tipped me off once. Like they were like, hey man, I think you should go check out this thread because it's pretty bad. And I went to go look at it. And yeah, there was a dude that was offering money to anyone that could locate my address. And they were like, yeah, he's a creator. I know he sent stuff to people. Somebody has to have his address. I'll give you $50 for it. And then people were like negotiating, like, I could probably get it for 100, like all this stuff. And then somebody was like, hey, why do you want this? This is psychopath behavior. And the guy just said, LOL, quote, to talk. I'm like, bro, he's going to show up at my house and like shoot my wife or something.
For context, everybody who doesn't know Reddit, there is r/magic, there's r/MTG, and there was a bunch of conservative kind of shitty people on there who went over to r/free magic. These people it didn't even really start out as fully conservative people. They just kind of co-opted it by a lack of moderation and rules. And these are the people who are like, this is AI and this person doesn't deserve this. And like, why can't we say bad things about women? So just for your context of what we're dealing with here.
And they're like a very popular bit there is basically any alternative like content creator at some point gets a post about them and, calling them freaks, calling them, all kinds of just nasty shit. Like, if you're at all associated with the LGBTQ, you're going to get a post on that subreddit. And I do always think it's interesting how that place like devolved the way it did, because like, yeah, you're right. It was just a complete lack of moderation, but it's so interesting to me that in internet spaces, lack of moderation always somehow evolves into like alt-right pipelines. I'm like, that's concerning for our future.
Well, I mean, r/free magic's like opening line is, this is a wide open and mostly unmoderated subreddit. So,
yeah.
And that translates to bigotry and death threats and hits out on people. So it's a good time.
So anyways, what's your favorite Gundam series?
Oh,
I'm hijacking this, Jose.
Series, technically a mini series, but 8th MS Team.
Oh yeah, that's one of my beginner recommends for people.
Yeah, that's the one I always tell people. Give that one a watch. If you don't like it, you don't like Gundam. Period.
I used to say that, and then I'm like, why don't you guys go watch like Origin? See how you feel about that. If you guys, if you're not feeling Origin because it has a more modern animation style, go ahead and watch. Also, Char Aznable, one of the greatest characters ever. You can
Char's
fight.
counterattack is very good.
Oh yeah, and it's paced really well. But besides all that, go ahead and if you never watched Gundam, give it a shot.
I can tell you what my least favorite one is, and it's a hot take, and the internet eviscerates me every time.
Is it G Gundam?
It's G Gundam. It's the worst.
It's cool.
It's not Gundam.
When you watch it and you're like, when you're a kid and you're like, I don't understand Gundam. This is just giant robots fighting each other. And it's like, that's all it really is, though.
Yeah, it's a shonen battle anime. It's the tournament arc of Naruto if Naruto was a giant robot. It's not Gundam. Like, there's a little bit of political drama in it, but like for the most part, the politics take a backseat to the kung fu. And the ultimate enemy ends up being like the literal devil, and it's like, come on now, like.
Also, if Gundam you guys
is supposed to be political satire, or
if you guys haven't seen Master Asia and the Asia Gundam, have fun with that.
There's a horse. There's a horse that pilots a Gundam, and I'm not. Listen to me, listeners. Okay. I'm not saying there is a robot horse that attaches to another Gundam. I'm saying a literal horse gets in a Gundam and pilots a horse Gundam.
In a skin suit.
And listen, the manga is actually crazier than the anime, because in the manga, there's a kangaroo that pilots a Gundam.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a kangaroo Gundam that is piloted by a kangaroo, but what's crazier is that the mother kangaroo has her little baby kangaroo in her pouch, who pilots a little baby Gundam that is in the big Gundam's Gundam pouch. So they have a technique where the mother kangaroo will punch the enemy, and then the baby kangaroo will shoot out of the pouch and punch the enemy in the stomach.
Jose, do you want to see two of the greatest Gundams ever? Please look up Tequila Gundam. And then look up Windmill Gundam.
The Nether Gundam. These are my two favorite Gundam. Oh my god, the Nether Gundam is so fucking funny. So essentially, I'll give your audience a very quick TLDR. The plot of G Gundam is that this is a world that is hundreds of years removed from the regular Gundam timeline, where instead of the world being at
the
war,
Universal Century timeline,
a peace treaty where they're going to have every 4 years they're going to have a tournament where every country gets to submit one Gundam into the tournament, and if you win the tournament, your country rules the world. That's how politics work.
That's it, baby.
Basically, all the countries live in space, and Earth is just the battleground for this tournament. And
people do live on Earth, I would like to note.
Yes, but the governments exist on the colonies. Yeah,
which is a very watered down, less good story than the Universal Century.
Because that's actually the whole plot of the kangaroo, is that the kangaroo was genetically engineered by a scientist on Earth, Australia, because he's basically trying to like retake Earth. It's a very
and that's why Char Aznable is based, because he took out Australia before any of that could have happened.
Char did nothing wrong.
Char did nothing wrong.
Australia is an evil death pit that has grown to kill us. Anyway,
that's just
so
Australia.
The Nether Gundam. Why the Nether Gundam is so funny? Because it is literally a windmill with legs, and their strategy, and it was an effective strategy. They made it all the way to the finals of the tournament. Their strategy was to plant themselves in a field, pretend to be a windmill, and just avoid all the fights. And it worked. No one fought them until like the final 10 rounds. And then finally somebody was like, what the fuck? That's a Gundam. And fought them. And it turns out they're not a very good fighting like machine.
Neutral nations, beware.
It's a very funny subplot. But yeah, Tequila Gundam's dope as hell. It bothers me that they don't make a Gunpla for it. So I actually 3D printed. I will send you a picture of it later.
Hell yeah.
I actually 3D printed my own Tequila Gundam model kit and painted it, and it looks so sick.
What I love is that Tequila Gundam is a Gundam where, as like lefty liberal white person, I'm like, this has to offend somebody, right? And then every Latino person I've sent this to was like, yeah, that kind of fucks.
Yeah. I was the same way. So I actually did a series of videos going over all of the like crazy Gundams in G Gundam, and I was so worried about doing Tequila Gundam because I was like, oh man, the Gundam has a sombrero. Why did they put a sombrero on a Gundam? And he had like a handlebar mustache and stuff, and I'm like, there's no way this isn't offensive, but people fucking loved it, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I can openly love Tequila Gundam now. This is great.
It's the Speedy Gonzalez incident where like all the hoity-toity white people got super offended about Speedy Gonzalez because it was a bad depiction of Latino people, and then the Mexicans were like, yo, why'd you stop making fucking Speedy Gonzalez cartoons? That shit's funny. That's a real thing that happened, by the way.
Oh no, I know. My little peek into my personal.
That was for viewers, not for you.
Yeah, my wife's Hispanic, and even she was like, "Okay, this one's a bit of a stretch. Give me back my little sombrero mouse."
I was gonna say I just didn't like getting called Speedy Gonzalez all the time because
that's fair. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
because
hot take here. Racism's bad.
Oh no! Don't let Free Magic hear that.
Cancel me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know what? How dare you say racism? You're going to say that women should have autonomy and people should love who they want to love.
All hot takes. All brave.
You're so brave.
All right, guys, we got to be careful. I don't want to cost you your official sponsors.
Stop it. All right, you know what? I think this is a good time. Since you're gonna keep fucking with me, we're gonna eat everyone, not including or not. Jason's not gonna do this because I forgot to tell him. Sorry, Jason.
Oh no.
Dreading this.
Me and Mr. Dogo are gonna try. Well, actually, I should rephrase. Mr. Dogo is going to try pumpkin pie ramen, and I couldn't find pumpkin pie ramen. So what I did, I sent an updated picture in the chat, by the way, because of liquid
that shit's got to be so cold by now.
I don't care. Honestly,
it's lukewarm and it's gelatinizing, and I'm concerned.
Yeah. I got this hot and spicy chicken ramen, and instead of using water, I used pumpkin spice latte from Dunkin'. So yeah, Jason's gonna put pictures up.
Yeah, I will.
For those at home who don't go look at those pictures, it's not pumpkin spice that I found. It's pumpkin pie. I got this at Walmart. It's cup noodles, but it's pumpkin pie with other natural flavors. I don't believe that. And yeah, it smells.
It has other natural flavors. Yeah, this smells awful, but we're gonna try it, and I think now's as good a time as any. And then
all right, we're doing this. We're doing it live. I'm putting this in my mouth.
So while they're eating this, I'll go ahead and cover up the Foley a little bit. So Shar Aznavour did nothing wrong. And the reason we say that is because he was a very popular, you guys can stop me whenever, but he wasn't very popular. His family were kind of advocates for peace. And then the super fascist right-wing family was like, hey, let's go ahead and assassinate that guy. And Shar's tactic was to be like, I'm going to kill that whole family. Like there's a whole thing with Chrysilla and like where she tries to intimidate him when he's a little kid. It's pretty awesome. But anyways, so he meets this guy. His name is actually Casval. See on Casval's Daikun, but he meets this guy named Shar Aznavour, and then like they get in a at an airport, and he's like, I want to do this, and like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to join the military. So they trade plane tickets, and then like Casval goes off to join the military and takes his like place as this kid, and the other one they think is Casval, who is actually Shar, gets assassinated by having his plane blow up, and Shar decides like, I'm gonna do this forever. And then he ends up like killing this entire family and doing a whole revolution. It's pretty badass. There's 3 series about it. There's one where like nobody knows who he is, and it's kind of the 80s, so they got him dressed up like a rock star. His name is Quattro in that, and there's this really autistic kid who's like, hey, you guys don't know who he is? And they're like, oh my God, Quattro is Shar. And he's like, yeah, no shit. It's really good. I love Camille. He's my favorite. Zeta Gundam's my favorite series. I think they're done now. I think they're just letting me go.
What I really like about the whole Gundam franchise is that like, on the surface, it's very like, they do a really good job of making you think that it's like, oh, these guys are the good guys and those guys are the bad guys. But the more you look into it, like, Zeon just wanted independence, and the Earth Federation was using child soldiers and experimenting on kids. And it's like, the good guys aren't exactly the good guys, and the bad guys just kind of want their freedom. Like, it's the whole plot's kind of fucked up, and like the 1 Year War is just all kinds of jacked up. And like I said, Amuro is literally a child soldier that was experimented on by the government. Like he's not this like happy-go-lucky hero guy, and it's not a black and white series. And
In that
it's like, I know
second
it's a
series,
they Char did nothing wrong, but it's a stance you could take. It's not entirely wrong.
in the second series, Zeta, like you get to see Amuro Ray after the 1 Year War, and he's got a nice mansion, and he's like in the middle of nowhere where he can be peaceful and blah 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 blah. It's a prison. The Earth Federation has literally imprisoned him as far away from everybody because they know he might be a new type, and they don't want him touching another, like any piloting anything in case he turns on them. And he houses Char. And let me tell you, if y'all want a fun watch, AI has produced one good thing, and it's Char and Amuro being in a relationship, and Camille is their son, and they're going through a divorce, and they're fighting over it. They're a minute long. It's funny as hell. There's like 6 of them.
I just want to make it very clear that was the most foul thing I think I've ever.
Listen,
The bomb is actually the grossest thing I've ever tasted in my life. This is.
I low key kind of hate how good this is.
Yours was meant to be eaten. Jose's was meant to be shit on.
The pumpkin pie flavor low key kind of slaps. And mind you, this is lukewarm and gelatinized. So like, I'm sure fresh, this was probably dope.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you won out on this deal because mine is. I videoed mine. It's so bad. It's just spicy pumpkin spice. Like I hate it. I hate it.
You should have gotten cheesy ramen.
Oh wait, hold on.
Cheesy pumpkin.
I don't know how
spice?
good my mic is, but maybe I can get some really gross chewing noises for your audience.
Excellent. So yeah, I think the cheesy would have balanced it out for you.
Oh, I don't think that was the problem. I think the problem was the pumpkin spice latte.
No, I think it was the spice.
No.
Did you? So you want to? Did you know I don't like to talk about this because it was such a trend during COVID for people to be like, I'm a super taster. I actually do have that skill where I can make weird things taste good and tell you exactly what things were made with by tasting them.
I believe that.
That's pretty dope.
It's a curse.
It's like
I burnt a bunch of my taste buds off when I was a kid, so I can eat weird shit. It's awesome.
And I vape pretty heavily too, so that's what dulled down senses.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god. You know what? We did it. Dogo, I'm glad that you liked it. Kind of like on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay, so I'll give you the number that my body is reacting to this food because that does not line up with my taste.
It's like Blue Chew.
My tongue enjoyed it. I would honestly give it like 7.5 out of 10. That was really good. However, I can feel my body shutting down. I think my stomach is giving... Oh, Lord. My body is giving this a 2 out of 10.
So the average is out to about 4.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
You need to give your final rating a little later. Live message from the toilet and let me know how both of you are doing.
Honestly, the most underrated cup of noodle, and it's really hard to find, the cheesy cup of noodle.
That's
so good.
What I'm saying, Jose, you needed to change it to cheesy.
Cheesy.
I think the only thing I could find cheese-wise was chili cheese, and chili cheese pumpkin spice was going to be miserable time.
Yeah, you might
like
what
you had wasn't.
I mean, not as bad as chili. I mean, think about it. It's like, so Jase and I are in Ohio, so this will make sense to us and anyone who's ever had this before. Right. Basically, if it would have been chili cheese and then pumpkin spice, it would have been the pumpkin spice version of Skyline chili.
Skyline is a crime. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I agree.
I've got family out in Ohio, and I actually used to work in Cincinnati. And
I'm sorry.
So I'm very familiar with Skyline.
I've never been to Cincinnati.
Gotta go get some Skyline. No, we fucking don't. We don't need to go anywhere near that stuff.
People love Skyline, and you know what? Great for them. What the fuck? What is
just like I've never craved chili and went, you know what would make this chili better if somebody has already eaten it. And that's essentially what Skyline is.
Everyone blames a bat for COVID, but was it actually Skyline chili?
That might have been, because my God, is it an abomination? We're going to get so much heat from the Ohio people, because Ohio people love, if there's two things that Ohio people love, it's the Ohio State Buckeyes and Skyline chili. And both of them.
Well, I'll tell you, Jose, I don't care about sports. And I don't know anything about sports other than the Buckeyes are really good. And I've known about that since I was a kid. And I can't eat chili because I have IBS. So fuck them both. I'm also not from Ohio, so I don't care. I live in Ohio. I'm just not from here.
What's a little shitting your pants between friends?
Seriously, though, I've never left that place and been like, you know what? I feel perfectly fine to do something after.
Sponsor this podcast episode depends. God damn it. We're just giving it to you.
Yeah, true, depends, nothing else. Don't do it.
All right, and now an official ad break from our sponsors. Are you having a hard time in life? It could be harder. Chew Blue Chew.
Blue Chew while eating Skyline chili.
Do you love your deeply seated American values? Join Al Qaeda. I don't think Al Qaeda's even around anymore.
No.
Didn't they change to ISIS? Isn't that what ISIS came from?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's. I had other questions, and I don't even know.
Official sponsor.
No.
Not to be confused with ICE.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck ICE though, for real. I'll say it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I won't let them sponsor us.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck ICE.
I do remember what I was going to say. So we've talked about Beyblade, we talked about Gundam, we've talked about Magic. What other nerddoms have you been into over time? You do the comic stuff, obviously, but like, what else have you been really into that maybe you haven't talked about on your channel yet that you really want to?
That's a really good question. I'm a massive nerd, so many things.
Oh, by the way, sick Zoid kit you got. I saw that today. Good for you. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, like I've definitely, I'm kind of I'm getting up there in years, so I've been around for a lot of nerddoms, and I've gotten in the habit of trying to express more of my nerddoms in content. So like, I'm not sure that there is anything I haven't made at least one or two videos on, but probably the thing I make the least amount of content about would be retro video gaming. Like I have a massive retro video game collection. I love the Super Nintendo. I love the Sega Genesis. I love the Sega Game Gear, like popping out these old consoles on a nice crunchy ass CRT TV and playing some original Mario Kart on the SNES is a real passion of mine. I've just really struggled to figure out how I can even really make content about that in a meaningful way. Godzilla is a big passion of mine, but I did do a stint of content on that. I'm trying to look around my office to see all the different things.
You have a lot out there, so I did as much research as I could. Did you ever do Digimon?
Technically. So I did an art project at one point where I made a playmat where people could comment like, what's your favorite? I had them comment, what's your favorite Pokemon and Digimon? And the playmat is like one half of the playmat is Digimon, one half of the playmat is Pokemon. And I would like draw the characters and color them in and stuff and did videos for that. Digimon, like I liked Digimon growing up. I kind of stopped watching around, I think, Gen 3. And then the video games were kind of ass for several years. So I fell off on the video games, and I've been meaning to go back and play some of the newer ones. But yeah, Digimon, I like Digimon. I like some of the Digimon.
Speaking of Digimon, I showed my wife over this last weekend Digimon the movie, the English dub movie.
Oh yeah?
It's so bad. I love it.
It's not good because it's 3 different movies that aren't supposed to connect.
I was like, this really feels like 3 OVAs they just shoved into one movie. And
so that is factually what it was.
I will say, a lot of people from our age group is like, people will be like, yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That's where your music taste come from. And I'm like, I don't know, man. The Digimon movie really The
Digimon movie soundtrack fucking slaps.
Slaps so hard. I had the CD. Oh, yeah. It's got the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones on it.
Boss Tones, dude. I fucking love the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I bring them up any chance, like, people are like, oh, put some music in the playlist or whatever. I'm like, ooh, time to introduce you to the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Yeah, people didn't already know who they are. They need to. That's for real.
Yeah, that movie is something else. And it's a shame too, because each movie individually could have worked pretty well, but trying to jam them all together in one, it's even as a kid, I remember watching this and being like, I don't think this works well.
The animation is so pretty in those movies too.
Oh yeah, especially in the first of the 3.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, when they're like little babies and Greymon is like fucking 30 stories tall. The animation in that is so good.
I always remember when she's like coughing and when Kari's trying to blow her whistle and she's coughing and Ty grabs it and whistles really hard into it because that coughing animation was so
it's so good.
good.
I guess like if I'm trying to like really grasp, I don't really talk about D&D much in my social media, and I'm a huge D&D nut.
Actually, yeah, I was gonna say I actually did not know that.
What's your go-to
I actually got into
build?
D&D when I was in the military because, when you're stranded in the field and there's not a whole lot you can do, you can imagine things and you can talk. So D&D is like an incredibly accessible hobby because like you don't even actually need dice. So we used to use the official name for it is the chit system. I don't like that word because it just sounds uncomfortable to say with my mouth. The chit system almost sounds like a slur, but basically it's just loose leaf paper that what you do is you write 1 through 20 on a piece of paper, you rip out each piece, you put those pieces in your pocket, and then when the DM tells you to roll, you reach in your pocket and you pull out a piece of paper at random. That's your roll. So we were able to, you can do that when you're chilling in a literal ditch in the middle of the night, doing that. And so that's how I initially got into it. And then when I got out of the military, I was like, oh shit, there's like books and stuff you can buy for this game. And I've been playing D&D for, geez, how old am I now? About 14 years.
Wow.
What's your like go-to build? Like what's your class? What are your favorite classes and races that you tend to gravitate towards?
Man, I like simple dumb D&D. I'm a barbarian main.
Hell yeah.
Point me in the direction of a bad guy and I will hit it 3 times really hard in the face. That's my go-to. And I usually go with human just because of the +2 in 2 different categories is pretty stacked for a barbarian because you can just give yourself good strength and good dex. I should note, in case anyone who listens to this is like up to date with D&D, I mainly played 4th edition and 5th edition. I haven't really messed around too much with the new like D&D 1 or whatever the hell they're calling it because I am one of those people that like I hate change, and I think 5th edition is a
5th edition's fine.
I don't know why it needed to be changed. I can kind of understand like maybe my perspective is skewed as a barbarian main who most of my combat phases are just okay, I rage and then I swing and then I swing again
and then I swing
special
again.
action swing a 3rd time. So like I can see how if you play sorcerers or if you use like some of the special races and stuff, maybe D&D 5th edition had some issues, but I personally never found a problem with it. And I think a lot of the issues that people had with 5th edition can be solved if you just stop being a sweaty nerd and just try to have fun. Like stop trying to min-max your half dwarf ASMR paladin knight samurai that you really want to be Goku. Like just play the damn game.
The monks. But you just described the monks.
Yeah.
I was a paladin.
Every single play group I've ever had, there's always that one. There's always the same 2 people. One guy that min-maxes their character to the point where they're just like basically God. And then the other character that's like, I'm like Goku, but if Goku was also Super Mario.
I played Paladin, and what I would do is you had to get like a special module for it. And before that, when I played it, you had to just make it. I would do Orc as a race, which, Paladins are inherently chaotic, or not chaotic. They're, what is that? Good. They're really good guys. They're good boys. And then the true good.
Lawful good?
Orcs are like,
they're
true
inherently
evil.
lawful, but
Lawful good and true evil. So I was like, what if I made an orc a paladin and I just got a true chaotic neutral paladin? And then I'd also make him like 7 feet tall with a huge kite shield. So there was it. My favorite thing to do was just to roll sneak checks constantly as a giant armored orc man.
I mean, you could definitely make a strong argument in a lot of cases that paladins are actually lawful evil.
Yeah.
I mean,
they let things happen.
Sort of religious zealots. Their whole thing is imposing their religion on everybody, and if you don't agree with that, they beat you to death with a giant hammer.
That's why I liked my chaotic neutral paladin. It was always fun to play.
Paladins always kind of annoy me.
Thanks.
In every party that I've been in, whenever somebody plays a paladin, they desperately try to fill the role that I am filling as the barbarian.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of really beefy techniques like smite and stuff.
Especially right out the gate.
Your armor class is really high and you're wearing heavy plate armor and all this stuff. So like every paladin I've ever played with, they just want to charge into battle, be the first one, and do most of the damage. And I'm like, come on, man, that's literally all I have. Like I'm a naked guy with an axe.
To be honest, I never get to play with a barbarian, and I would love that because I'd be like, hey, you wanna get launched off my kite shield into the crowd? Like, let's do this, brother.
That'd be so awesome. Honestly, though, paladins don't bug me as much as fucking bards. I hate bards. I hate people who play bards because, and yes, I'm stereotyping. Yes, I'm generalizing. I don't care. I have trauma from this stupid game. In my personal experience, without fail, every single person I've ever played with who plays a bard plays the horny bard, and they think
every time.
They in their minds they think they're coming off like Scanlan from what's the Critical Role. This like charismatic, funny, ladies' man. But in actuality, to the rest of us at the table, they're just coming off like an annoying douche who's trying to fuck the spider, and it's dumb. It slows down the story. It slows down our night. We have to constantly sit there and watch the bard try to make jokes that aren't funny. Like, I think honestly what it is, and this might, maybe this is me overstepping a little bit, but I have noticed, and I don't think this is a controversial statement to say, a good portion of the TTRPG space are neurodivergent in some way.
Yes.
And so I think what tends to happen a lot with D&D, and I do the same thing with my barbarian, I'm not going to lie, we project a little bit of what we want out of ourselves onto our characters. That like, yeah, I want to be the big buff dude that like, defends everyone and fights the bad guy and beats the dragon to death with my bare hands. So like I play a big dumb barbarian. And like, just in my personal experience, the people who play the horny bard stereotype desperately want to be that cool, funny guy. And the thing I've noticed with role playing is that like you really have to like be able to fake that personality or have that personality genuinely, or your character's going to come off bad. Because if you're not a good, like, I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to say like actor, but there's a little bit of acting in role playing. But like, if you're not able to effectively convey the character that you're trying to be, it just comes off like you're being a douche, and like your jokes aren't funny, and you're being annoying, and like, again, why are we trying to have sex with the spider? It makes no sense. Like,
yeah, why are you making this group activity all about you?
Yeah.
No, I feel that.
I have, like I said, I have PTSD from bards because I have had some like really fun campaigns over the years that just got sidetracked and ended up falling apart, and the party ended up quitting playing because the bard was being an annoying douche. And it's just now whenever anyone plays the bard, before they even start to explain their character, I'm like, let me guess, you're gonna try to fuck everything, aren't you? It's in character. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The it's in character argument makes me want to throw people through a window so often. Like I can't stand
Jose, go ahead. No, I hear you trying to talk.
It's okay. It's the no. It's the like, oh, it's just a joke. Oh, it's like, oh, like, oh, it's just a game.
It's just satire.
Yeah, like those kind of arguments, and it just is it's bullshit. It's bullshit at the end of the day. Like it's you being a jerk. It's you being weird. It's you being intentionally obtuse. Like all those things.
Yeah, like I was in one campaign that like we literally stopped playing after this night because one of the people playing started getting like weirdly racist towards like characters in the game. And when we called him out on it, he was like, what? It makes sense for my character's backstory. I'm like, we don't fucking care. Pretend it doesn't. Just pretend your character's not racist, please. Like, you have all the freedom in the world to pretend to be whatever you want, whoever you want, and you're choosing to pretend to be a racist. Like, brother, the it's in character argument is just you being dumb. Like, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Not
and
a
if
fan
it's
of
in
that.
character, change your character. Seriously. Like,
Yes. Yeah. For real. Like it's not that hard to be like a decent human being, even when quote unquote like this isn't a movie. You're not fucking like Django Unchained where you can just say a whole bunch of shit or like Sinners where you just say a whole bunch of shit and it's like no one's gonna do anything. No, this is real life. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. People do be sucking. It's really not that hard to be a good person.
Really, really not.
At least generally.
Speaking, yes. I know I play half elf rogue every time I play just about.
Okay.
How tragic is your backstory?
Usually my backstory is I'm someone who got separated from my family because neither race that I was a part of really wanted to claim me. So I went off on my own to find myself and try to find a made family, a found family kind of situation. But I tend to be a loner, and there's always one person that I cling to because they tend to be like the best of them, like personality wise, like they're the best of people. So I protect them the most, and then I kind of just stand in the back and start shooting stuff. I started shooting.
I went out of my way to make a non-tragic rogue. I had a rogue that was Samir, who the god of their family was more or less like, hey, your family's super rich and they have a huge fortune, but you can't do that. And so you got to leave your family. And they were like, all right, bye. And he was like, cool, I'll never see you again, but it's fine. I'm going to go make my own fortune. And he went to the sewers of Waterdeep and became the Rat King.
That's dope.
Hey, I don't need every rogue to be sad. Cause like, I have to emphasize, he did like get abandoned by his family, but they were cool with it because Asamirs are like that. They're like, yeah, we do whatever our god says. We trust them.
Hell yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I actually, I got really annoyed with, like, back when I was first starting out, the few DMs that I had kept projecting story onto my character, like basically like choosing my own backstory or like altering parts of my backstory. Like I had one session where the DM literally pulled me aside, handed me like an essay and was like, oh, by the way, this is your secret backstory. You're secretly the bad guy. I'm like, okay, well, screw everything I had come up with then. So to counteract that over the years, my character, my barbarian, basically his backstory is that he has magically induced amnesia. So when you ask me what my backstory is, I don't know, because my character doesn't know. He's just a big dumb idiot. Doesn't know where he comes from, doesn't know anything. He's just a big dumb idiot. So that way, when the DM starts projecting their plot onto me, I don't get upset about it because I'm like, sure, that could be true. I don't know.
Do you ever consider doing the Joker thing, where it's just whatever?
Which Joker thing?
Whatever story you want it to be in that moment is the story that you tell.
No, I want him to get his face cut off and try to scare his arch nemesis.
So that's actually low key kind of what I do because I really like my barbarian character. His name is Thunderspank, and he's really fun to play.
That's awesome.
I always kind of get sad when a campaign ends, and I'm like, oh man, all of that lore that we built throughout the campaign is just gone because we don't want to hang out anymore, or like whatever the case is. And so I came up with this headcanon that a few DMs have been okay integrating it, but even the ones that don't, I'm like, in my head, this is true. The way I see it, Thunderspank is a universal constant, and essentially every time a campaign ends or every time he dies in a campaign, he gets isekai'd into the next campaign that I play.
He's a living canon. He's a living
so every
canon
time
point.
I've played Thunderspank in every campaign I've ever played him, it's the same Thunderspank. It's just every time he dies, he ends up in the next story. But it's the same, and that's why he has magical-based amnesia, because the process of him transferring from one universe to the next wipes his brain clean. But he does it as a fully grown adult, so he can't remember his childhood or his backstory or where he's from, because technically speaking, he's not even from this world. He's from 10 universes ago, some mountain village, but every time he's died, he gets, a fresh slate.
You're just perfectly set up for being like, well, I don't like this DM. I don't like this group anymore. I'm going to show up to the session and just off myself and then never come back again.
Low key, I've done that twice.
Yo, what?
Hell yeah. I love the idea of an isekai character knowing that they're an isekai character and they're like, oh, this one's weird. There's a lot of perverts here. I'm going to go find a lake and jump in it. Yeah.
We actually had, on a little bit of a cuter note, for a brief period of time, I got my wife into D&D. She's not really like a nerdy type. She's one of them. She's one of them normies. But I got her into D&D for a while, and the first campaign I got her to play, she played a gnome bard, but didn't do the horny bard trope because she doesn't know anything about D&D. She basically just played like a Keebler elf that was obsessed with bongos.
Hell yeah.
And her character and Thunderspank were in a relationship because, you know, she's my wife, and she was like, can my character date your character? I was like, yeah, that's fine. But then when we left that friend group and went to another friend group, I explained to her the whole isekai thing, and she was like, okay, mine too. And I was like, okay. So now we have like an added layer to the whole isekai thing that she's like, her character's doing the same thing, that every time she dies, she isekais into the same world as Thunderspank. But since neither of them have their memories, they don't remember each other, but like cosmically they're destined to be together. So we always fall in love in every version of reality that we end up in together. And it's almost like I sort of took a page out of the anime Seven Deadly Sins, where it's like once we connect and become aware of each other, it started out as an inside joke because every time our characters start dating in the game, the party falls apart 2 or 3 sessions after that.
Cloud Atlas.
Now our thing is that like our 2 characters reincarnate into another universe, cosmically find each other, fall in love, and then that starts the clock of their deaths. And then when they die, they start the cycle all over again. So it's like they're cosmically cursed to always seek each other out, but by seeking each other out, ensure each other's death.
Through that whole description, I'm just going to raise the opacity slowly on Cloud Atlas, the movie poster.
I was going to say People with Love.
Is that the plot to Cloud Atlas? I got to be honest, I've never seen that.
It's a Tom Hanks movie, Kill a Good Evening. You'll see a dog get shot, but like it's by the guy the bad guy in The Matrix. I can't remember his name. He's in it.
Oh, Hugo Weaving?
Yeah, he's in it. Tom Hanks is in it. I think Halle Berry's in it. They do kind of a Soylent Green bit. It's a neat movie.
I fuck with Halle Berry.
Shout out Halle Berry.
She's wearing all white. It's real cool.
Halle Berry, Monsters Ball, greatest scene ever made in cinema history.
Jose, you need to move us on.
I was going to say, honestly, we've been jabbering for so long that I think we should try to round things out here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, probably a good time.
Yeah. No, hey, yeah, I'm okay. Cool. And Jase, you can answer these questions too. Dogo, I usually end with a couple questions. They're the hardest questions you're ever going to hear, besides apparently why Roadshow is no longer around. And if you ever decide to bring that back, I'll be here for one. But we're going to start out with, what is your favorite card in Magic the Gathering?
So the joke answer that people who follow my content for a while want to hear is that it's Joven.
Which I have right here next to me, side note.
Yeah, and I do love Joven. It's a very funny, haha bit. He's a silly rock star, man. I've actually I met the artist Douglas Scholler. I've met him a few times. Like we're almost on like first name basis at this point. And he gave me like the whole backstory of where Joven comes from. It's actually based on a buddy of his. He used to do LARPing, and Joven's just based on one of his friends. And the bar that he's in the picture, Snarg's House of Sin, was just like an inside joke they always had that, you know, the guy that the art is based off of wanted to like retire and open a bar, and that was going to be the name of the bar. And so when they LARPed, that was like their little base of operations was Snarg's House of Sin. Anyway, memes aside, though, if I had to pick like a favorite card that I actually really love playing and piloting and stuff like that, it's going to be Minsc and Boo. Timeless Heroes. Love that card so much.
What about
Make giant hamster, blow up giant hamster, kill players. It's awesome.
That's why. Okay, that is very Gruul of you.
Yeah.
It is very Gruul of you, so that makes a lot of sense. Is that your favorite deck that you like as well, or do you have another deck that you love?
Yeah, so I actually don't have that many decks. My love for Magic the Gathering has diminished a lot over the years, and it's not even so much the game itself. It's a lot of the community and stuff. I need a vacation from this game. So of the decks I have left, actually, probably my second favorite deck I ever had was Mr. Orfeo the Boulder, which is
Well,
Jund.
And I was going to ask,
Very fun deck.
It doesn't have to be current. It can be all time. What's your favorite deck?
Yeah. Mr. Orfeo the Boulder is probably my second favorite deck of all time. I ended up disassembling it because that deck was worth about like $5,000, and I finally just realized, like, why do I have a stack of cardboard worth that much money? So I sold all the cards, and I just never got around to proxying it back together. So that deck is unfortunately in the deck graveyard. But I will say something I've really been having a lot of fun with in recent times. I love Cosmic Spider-Man from the Spider-Man set.
Oh,
interesting.
Really good.
Yeah, and I actually challenged myself to make the deck with nothing but cards from the Spider-Man set, with the exception, big asterisk mark, land-based, because the lands in that set were dog crap. And being a 5-color commander, you need good mana fixing or the deck's just not going to work. And I mean, it's honestly, it's a solid bracket 3. Like I've gotten quite a few wins with it, and it's just a lot of fun. The cards sync really well together. You know, Cosmic Spider-Man basically just gives all of your Spider-Men a bunch of insane nonsense, and most of them already had 1 or 2 pieces of insane nonsense attached to them. You know, like getting Cosmic Spider-Man out and then getting Hobie. What's the actual name of that card?
Spider-Punk?
Yeah, Spider-Punk. Getting Spider-Punk out so your stuff can't get countered, and then all your stuff has like flying and all this other crazy abilities.
Damage can't be prevented.
Yeah, the deck goes ham, and I personally did not hate the Spider-Man set as much as most people did. I think if you're looking at it from a standard perspective, I agree it's not the best set. But if you're looking at it from a commander perspective, I think it's probably one of the most underrated sets ever. That like people are really crapping on it, not realizing that there's like 20 really good playable cards in Commander. And I'm also a huge comic book fan, so seeing one thing I like on another thing I like, and it actually being playable, I've been really enjoying Cosmic Spider-Man as a deck. It's been a lot of fun.
One surprising thing about me is Jose can attest to this. I wear this Spider-Man hat all the time with Carnage, Venom on it. I love Spider-Man so much. It's Venom is one of my favorite characters, especially Flash Thompson's Agent Venom. I
didn't like the set.
Did not care for the set at all. I only own a couple of cards from it. And Jose knows I've stood through some really bad sets and been like, this is going to be really good at some point. That was not it for me, not Spider-Man.
Like I said, if you're addressing it from any other perspective than Commander, I'm understanding of that stance. But like in Commander, there's so many cards that like are just basically retools of Commander staples that already existed that like I don't fully understand the hate for it. But if I'm going to be honest, I'm a lot more of form over function when it comes to what I like about Magic cards. So being a comic book fan for as long as I have been, almost my entire life, it was really cool to see some very obscure mentions in the set. Like the fact that we got the Swarm, a guy made of bees.
I did like the Swarm, yeah.
Yeah, like who the fuck knew that the Swarm was a thing? Like I made a video about the Swarm, but like before the card was announced, saying that I want to see him in the set, and like nobody knew who this character was, and the fact that they included him, you know, just all kinds of little things like that really kind of won me over to the set. That I was like, you know, as it's just fun to see, and also people crap on the sealed environment for Spider-Man. I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand that criticism. I have played probably 20 games of sealed where, you know, you get 6 packs, build a deck, we play with the Spider-Man set, and I have had a blast every single time. I think those cards work so well together that I think it thrives in sealed, but I've been told I'm wrong about that opinion. So
I actually agree with that opinion, weirdly enough. Like, I didn't like the Spider-Man set at all. I thought, like, oh, hey, from like a sealed or draft perspective, it's actually be kind of a fun thing to draft.
It's got a lot of synergy, right? Because it's spiders on spiders on spiders.
And the villains, the villain cards synergize together a lot too. So like when you're playing sealed, essentially what every game boils down to is you open your 6 packs and you separate all your villains and all your heroes, and you decide which pile's better, and you build a deck accordingly. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with the Spider-Man set. again, in the grand scheme of things, is it Modern Horizons 3? Yeah, probably not.
No.
Probably not even in the same ballpark, but like,
The thing is like, I called it out a long time ago. I was like, Murders at Karlov Manor is going to be like this year's new Capenna, where everybody's going to shit on it because it's dudes in detective hats, but there's some really solid cards in this. And I said the same thing about Thunder Junction too.
I was gonna say I am much lower on Spider-Man set as a whole than you are, but also a lot of that has to do with value of like opening a pack is garbage with the set, sadly.
Oh yeah,
it's a buy single set for sure.
You can buy the entire set for like $98 right now. It's really bad.
Most of that is Soulstone. Most of that's a Soulstone, and like if like it's remember how it's like how bad Dominaria United was value wise, where it's Shieldred and then everything else. Like that's what it feels like, and that I think that's why I'm so down on it. Like I like Spider-Man, love Spider-Man. I think if you're building a spider, you got a lot of spider support, right? So like if you're building a spider deck, fantastic. If you're building multicolor, you got a lot of options that do a lot of things with those decks. I think that's a Wizard's problem as a whole is the value of just regular play packs are really crappy, and the value of collector's boosters are even more crappy as a overall. But yeah, I think I was just disappointed with that. But it was such bad value, even though the like okay cards are still undervalued, but the packs are worth.
Yeah, I think I have a Moxfield deck I made right now that's just called Spider-Man Singles I Want. It's got 47 cards in it. It's like less than $90, and these are some of the better cards. I don't have Soulstone in there because I don't want that card, but like a lot of it was just flavor ads for me. Like I put Kane in there. Like who gives a shit about Kane? Superior Spider-Man in there. Just things I really liked as characters and cool cards.
I'm very close to having a master set of Spider-Man. I'm just missing all of the like alternate costume cards that are like $400. I'm not buying those. And then the Soul Stones, and then I need the Eddie Brock, the Eddie Brock like
red,
retro
green,
comic
black
book card.
one. Yeah.
And then I need the one that has the very first Spider-Man comic on the back of it. And which that thing drops like $1 every day. It's down to like $48. I might just buy that one soon. But if I could say one last thing in the defense of the Spider-Man set,
you can defend it all you want.
At this point, I think a lot of people also unfairly judge the set without acknowledging what it's supposed to be. The Spider-Man set very much is like it is meant to be baby magic. That's why it didn't have commander decks. That's why it had, all those welcome decks. A lot of the cards are a little bit on the lower power side. It was originally supposed to be a small set, not a full-time set. Like, I don't want to speak for WotC because I don't think they officially marketed it this way, which I think was a detriment on their part. But like, to me, it's very obvious that this is supposed to be like an introduction to Magic deck.
Oh yeah, totally.
But like, people treat it like it's, Modern Horizons 3 or, name whatever the best commander set is. Like they unfairly compare it to these like extremely bloated power, like overpowered sets. And it's, I don't know, if you just turn on your whimsy a little bit and have fun with your Spider-Mans, it's a fun little set.
I don't, my thing for it was also a little personal because like it comes back to free Magic again. That like there were people who were crying foul about AI artists, and I kind of lost respect for WotC, not because anybody was using AI, but because legitimate artists were being accused of this and having their jobs put on the line, and WotC went, they can handle it.
Yeah.
That's a whole subject.
Well, WotC is a terrible company.
That is true. Sponsor us, WotC.
Chris Cox is a literal demon who ate a man's insides and is wearing his skin.
You definitely didn't go watch the video.
Yeah, go watch the video. I might slot it in here if I have permission to.
My most viewed video ever, I think it's sitting at like 2.9 million views or whatever, was I think it was like a year or two ago when Hasbro, or well, specifically WotC, laid off like 2,000 employees right before Christmas. And it literally starts out with me calling Chris Cox a literal greedy demon monster. And yeah, people like that. Got millions of views.
It's stuck. It's people love your bits, and I think
Watsy, if you're listening, and I know that the executives at Watsy are listening to this episode.
Absolutely.
This is not an official stand for this podcast.
My dad works at Watsy.
You can sponsor my balls. I would literally rather have Al Qaeda sponsor me. You guys at MagicCon.
I have more questions. That's a mic drop. Damn.
Actually, I have a fun question that we can slot in somewhere for Mr. Doggo, Mr. Dude, if you must.
If you're nasty.
If you will.
Mr. Dude, if you're nasty.
So, Doggo, what is your... And he has like cue cards. I'm just coming up with this off the top of my head. What is your favorite Gunpla grade, and what is your favorite Gunpla that you've built? It can be recently, it can be whenever, it can be absolute shit. I can be entry grade. I don't care. I want to hear your Gunpla opinions.
So I not to get like too, I don't know if this is gonna be sad or something, but like my hands are kind of fucked up from my time in the military. My left hand in particular, a lot of the cartilage has been destroyed due to, bad stuff that occurred in close proximity to my body that shouldn't have occurred. So as time progresses, it's getting degenerative, like it's getting worse and worse. Like my hands have small tremors, and doing things that require a lot of like squeezing of the fingers and stuff like that, like pinching things or holding onto tools causes me pain over like if I do something for, like half an hour or whatever. So for that reason, I prefer high grades only because they're easier and they're literally less painful for me to build. And for me, Gunpla is kind of like, I don't put a whole lot of attention into my kits. Like I don't do the glass sanding. I don't do like repainting. And like I've seen people take X-Acto knives and like go over the edgings to make the creases look better. No, I take my nippers, I pop off the pieces, I click everything together. To me, building Gunpla is just like it's an escape for me because my brain does not think of anything else when I'm building something. Even like if I'm like real world building, like installing a door or like building a shelf or something, when I'm working with my hands, my brain shuts off and I kind of get to escape my own mind for a while.
Yeah.
I also have this annoying quality where when I start something, I can't walk away from it. Mm-hmm. So when I try to do a real grade or a master grade, and those take 4, 5, 6 hours to do, I'm not walking away until it's built. So that's 6 hours of me causing pain to my hands.
Yeah.
That like I built the Wing Zero master grade kit, which is truly gorgeous. I love that kit to death. It's beautiful. I couldn't use my left hand for like a day and a half after building that.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the moment where I was like, okay, I kind of need my hands to function in life. So I can't let this hobby screw me up in that regard. So I just stick to high grades for that reason. Because a high grade, I can pump a high grade out in like an hour and a half. And like my hands will be a little sore, but I'm not like in pain.
I'm a high grade stan, so I get it.
Yeah, I love high grades. And now as far as my favorite one, it's kind of cheating because I've recently got into repainting them and like making them customized.
Yeah.
And I'll send you a picture of it. This thing's pretty dope. It's the gun cannon, but I've repainted it so it's Blastoise from Pokemon.
Hell yeah.
And it sits on my desk. I love this thing. It's gorgeous. I also did this is probably my second favorite. I did a Zagok that is themed like Ivysaur, Venusaur, whatever the final evolution of Bulbasaur is.
Venusaur.
And then probably my third favorite, and I'll send you pictures of all these because these are
hell
cool.
Yeah.
I took a 7-8 or whatever, and I made it Megas XLR, and I even put like a little Hot Wheel car for his head. And
that's sick.
Yeah, it's really cool. So those are probably my 3 favorite builds, only because they've been customized and now they look really cool. If I had to go with like what is my like favorite thing to just build stock, the RX-78 is a classic. I love that.
Yeah.
I could build a million of those every day of the week and be satisfied with the results. It's just such a OG anime classic design that, harkens back to my childhood. So I love the RX-78.
To
a good
be
Zaku every now and then
absolutely
is also nice.
contrarian to you and the exact opposite as a high grade stand, my favorite gunpla kit to put together is Char Zaku.
I like Char Zaku. I do.
It's
But
another.
if
It's
we're
an
going-
easy build.
It is, but if we're going with the like Zaku style, the goof, man.
I have a goof right next to my Char
the,
Zaku.
the goof from the
MSO 8th team.
build, whatever it is.
Built. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll put it up.
It's so freaking cool. Okay, I actually changed up. Fuck everything I said. My favorite kid is the red goof. That thing is the coolest thing ever.
Also, another character who is great. Not Shalia Ball. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. The original pilot of the goof. But if y'all ever want a cool anime fight scene, go watch MS08th team or whatever. Go watch that goof fight scene.
Yeah.
It is sick. Just watch the whole show.
Oh yeah, when you the I don't even want to spoil it. The guy the goof is fighting does a really cool badass thing when he loses his melee weapon and needs a new melee weapon. It's so fucking cool.
It is cool.
It's so fucking cool.
Something I would do.
MS team is honestly like, listen, even if you don't want to get into the politics of Gundam, if you don't want to get too into it, it's a mini series. I think it's only like 8 episodes.
It is like 8 episodes, yeah. Also, it's a lover's story. Go Lovers Beyond Enemy Lines. Go watch it. It's so good.
It's so good. It's so well written. It's so well animated. It's that like era of classic anime, like Cowboy Bebop, where it's like it's
pure 90s,
but it's an art piece. It's beautiful.
Because that's one barrier a lot of people have to the old Gundams is that they are from the 79, they're from 80s, they're a little harder to watch. This is where it has that nice peak clean 90s, and if you like Akira as an animation style, go watch that. I'd say it's better than Akira.
Great comparison. Yeah, it looks a lot like Akira.
Fun fact for any of you animation nerds out there, Akira was the first like Japanese animation to have the mouth and jaws moving as people talked. Have fun with that.
Interesting.
Very interesting. I love both your passions for these things. This is actually really fun just listening to you.
This is what me and Kyle talk about, Jose. This is the kind of stuff me and Kyle talk about, but you don't think it's fun when we do it.
You do it in the middle of Magic games when I'm
fair.
Yeah. All right. Next question that I have for you, because as Jase so called me out on, I have cue cards. What's a card that you believe that you play most often in your decks when you do play that?
Like a card that I use the most?
Yeah, like
I can give an example. I really like Elixir of Immortality. Elixir of Immortality is one of the best cards because, sorry, go ahead, dog. This is a riff on Jose.
Oh my bad.
Probably just because I love the shenanigans of it. Last March of the Ents from the Lord of the Rings.
Hell yeah.
If you can make that work, is so dumb because you just draw half your deck and just put every one of your creatures onto the battlefield at once. And if you're playing green, if you're playing big stompies, I mean, I can go from having like in one turn, I'll go from having 1 or 2 creatures on the board to having 26 creatures that are all 20/20s or more. And yeah, it's just fun. And I probably, if I'm thinking about it, I probably put that in just about every deck I own that has green or had green or, you know, anything. Last March of the Ants is just such a fun card.
Jase kind of tests. I have a deck that I lovably call Big Beefy Boys Muffin Beef, and that card is in there. And when it goes off, it is just disgusting because the Commander's Galta.
Is that the last March I borrowed from you for Christmas, Jose?
It is the last March.
Fun fact, we pulled one after he let me borrow that, and then I couldn't find it, and I just recently bought the poster art version.
Yeah, Jason and I are very good. I let him borrow a full alt arts last March event. So that's how much I love Jase. Just so everyone.
I love the full art version of that card. It's so beautiful.
Nice. It's so nice. Oh my god,
so beautiful.
Next question, and I think this one I'm changing a little bit because Jason's made some really good points. What is a card or play style or deck type that you think people should play more, or mechanic even?
That they should play more of?
Yeah. Like people, you think people don't do this?
People need to swing at each other more. Jesus Christ.
People do need to swing.
Yeah. I'm like, this might sound dumb and like, I don't know, maybe I'm like wrong about this, but like, I don't see enough combat these days. Everybody's trying to win through like annoying
combos, tricks, and shit.
This thing draws out that, the exile this, that. Can we just punch each other? Like, can you just make a big dinosaur chew at me? Like, I kind of miss dumb Magic where it's, you know.
Well, in a standard environment, you're swinging all the time. Every point is one more life that they don't have to beat you with. And I hate it because when I first started playing Commander, I very much did like aristocrat stuff and I didn't really swing or anything, but I would always swing because I came from standard and that's what you kind of got to do. And then that became an identity for one person to me. Like they think I'm just an ooga boonga swingy person. And I'm like, nah, dude, I think people should fight more. There's not enough combat. Like, we have all these open things. Make people make choices about their blockers. You might remove a combo piece or you're going to get them down to enough life that you might beat the crap out of them.
I'm definitely the Oonga Boonga guy. Like almost every deck that I've built from scratch is combat based. I built one, I built Magda Brazen Outlaw before Ragavan got banned, and that deck was about burning people out.
Dockside, is that what you mean?
Dockside, sorry, yeah, sorry, wrong monkey-like creature. But yeah, because that deck is actually fun. So I did go through like a phase where I really loved doing the cards that say you can have infinite number of them in the deck. And Magda Brazen Outlaw, if you put Thrumming Stone in that deck, which is a really fun card, very situationally specific, but very fun. And with that deck, I could get, using her shenanigans, I could get a Thrumming Stone out by like turn 2 or 3, and then by turn 4, I'm hitting you with a Dragon's Approach, and then Thrumming Stone goes off, and I basically play all the Dragon's Approach out of my deck at the same time and just burn the table to death, which was like, I found incredibly unfun. But then like I would immediately switch to like a green deck where it's just me punching you to death. And I was like, that was a lot more fun. And so, almost every deck I've ever built has been combat oriented. I just think combat's more fun than any other way to win. And I think more people should just punch people more.
Yeah.
In Magic, not in real life.
I mean,
who's
to say?
Yeah. That's fair. But I will say I do agree with that sentiment. I think combos are fun every once in a while, which is why, like, shout out to the girl with the green suit, Greenie, who plays Winota, which is very punchy in a CEDH world where punchy is not the typical.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm a very good CEDH player, but I can appreciate not seeing Thoughts of the Oracle and Demonic Consultation every game.
I refuse to even try CEDH. It's too sweaty for me.
I'm sure Greenie is sad to hear that and has tried to sway you otherwise.
Yeah, she understands that I'm small brained when it comes to Magic. I don't know. I do love Magic and I do love playing Magic, but I think it's like, I always joke that it's like my 26th favorite hobby. It just happens to be what my.
I didn't even know you were a Magic creator at any point. Like I said, I knew you for Beyblades.
Yeah, and that's because like about a year or two ago, I just kind of realized that like I'm creating an entire online personality around a game that I barely like, and a lot of people play Magic, like their enjoyment derives from how well can they break this game, how crazy can they come up with all this stuff. I don't find that fun, and that's essentially what a lot of CEDH is that everything's like a 26 card combo and you like all this different stuff. I like to play cool looking creatures and give them swords and make them stab people. You know, like that's one of the reasons why I like the Spider-Man set so much, is that I don't put a lot of thought into it. I like the Spider-Man characters. Yeah. And now when I play the cards that I like, I get to see the Spider-Man characters on them, and that's cool to me. So
I don't talk about myself often in these, but I will say 2 decks that I've really, really, really enjoyed recently playing are, I steal the name from Jase. It's my Barbie deck, which is, for those who don't know, Voltron. And it's been recently called by people, it's Cage Brawler, and people call it That's My Purse, I Don't Know You. Which
that's very funny.
Fantastic, yeah. And my other favorite has been Tifa, the Landfall one. they're like, it's a glass cannon. Like I'm gonna take one person out and die because we were like, oh yeah, that's really, you made a 256 2 because her toughness doesn't go up. Tifa, yeah, we're gonna kill you now, and it's like, I don't care. I killed someone with like 300 combat damage. I'm great. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
I don't need.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Really big Tifa.
One of the reasons I really liked Mr. Orfeo the Boulder was I liked seeing how hard I could punch people. And I don't remember the combo, so I couldn't even begin to tell you what it was. It was a 7-card combo that I hit somebody for over a quintillion amount of damage.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Because the multipliers just kept stacking and stacking and stacking, and they become exponential as you go. And we literally sat there. It was on somebody's like stream show. And we literally sat there with a calculator and pen and paper, and we, like, the audience was helping us do the math. And by the time we got to the number, it was 1.6 quintillion damage. And then
busting
at the
out
very
a
last second,
TI-80.
I cast Tainted Strike, which turns your damage into infect. So I was like, okay, so now you take a quintillion infect.
That's amazing. I'm sure the only people who can ever say they've done more than like 20 infects ever.
Yeah. I used to do a video series of like math equations for magic cards, just to kind of like, give people little brain teasers. And through doing that, I found out like there's ways, and it's not even like unreasonable ways, not like 20 card combos, like less than 8 card combos that you can do astronomically large amounts of damage, like numbers that don't even have words to them yet, amounts of damage.
It's the roguelike of it all. If you're doing like roguelike stats, you do your plus, then multiply, and you go, you get like 83,000 counters on an Ouroboros a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And that's essentially how an Orfeo deck plays out, is that almost every card in the deck multiplies in some way or doubles effects in some way, and it's usually all related to combat. And then my favorite play out of that deck was to get Bloodthirster out, which every time Bloodthirster deals damage, you untap everything and get another combat phase, and he has flying. And so if you get like 10 multipliers out on this guy, he's at a power level of like 12 million, and he's hitting you in the air, and then he untaps and we go to second combat, and most of those multipliers are based on combat. So like Orfeo and like Xenagos are based on combat. So when you go to your second combat, his 12 million becomes 24 million, and then you kill that player, go to a third combat, all the multipliers stack again, and now he's at like 78 billion, and it's just so much fun. I love punching people really hard in the face.
That's amazing. I love that. I kind of want to, in Magic, I'm supposed to do a PED Christmas thing, and I kind of want to make Mr. Orfeo.
I think you should, dude. It's one of the most fun commanders, in my opinion.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm supposed to be reeling us in, but this is just a lot of fun for everyone.
Yeah, you said we were going to wrap up like an hour.
Yep. I'm really good at my job. Okay, I'm really good at
it. Hey, I'm good. My wife doesn't come home for another hour and a half, so
Same.
No, this is great. My wife's much later, sadly, but nonetheless, as it comes to your content, and everyone go watch Mr. Doggo's content, not just because it's funny and fun, but it's very informative, especially the comic book stuff. There's a lot of stuff. I consider myself, I'm not going to say like huge comic book knowledge person, but I know a lot of stuff, and I still am finding out common things from.
I didn't bring up comics this whole podcast because I didn't want to. We were already getting sucked into the Gundam stuff, and he doesn't even know my Bruce Wayne one nut theory, so.
Okay.
We're just going to have to do another 2-hour podcast, apparently.
It's all right. I can send you a video later. I have mathematical proof that Superman's nut would destroy reality.
I've seen it. I've seen that.
Yeah.
I know.
That video is.
Someone sent that to me, by the way.
I did, I think.
Someone sent it to my real life boss.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. And, did they agree?
One day I came into work and he just looked at me and went, Superman, huh? And I was like, oh.
Don't watch that. Us being in Ohio has the birthplace of Superman, so it's particularly funny showing that to people in Ohio.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. Birthplace of Superman is downtown Cleveland. There is a building, Key Building, which is what the Daily Planet is based off of.
Interesting.
Yep. So there's your little tidbit of knowledge, since you didn't know that. But yeah, our one of our really good friends, Tim, who we did the Avatar podcast with, huge Superman fan. So I had to make sure he saw that video.
Spread the gospel.
I think I sent it to Tim too.
Yeah, Dogo stuff is awesome. But one thing I do want to ask, and it doesn't have to be magic related, but a lot of the people I talk to are involved in magic in some way. You're involved in magic. It doesn't have to be magic, but as it comes to your journey, where we are today, moving forward, because you've been through a lot, you've done a lot, you as you've talked about, you've had things that worked, had things that failed, and had to find your way. What are some things that you hope for yourself as it comes to your content? What are some things you hope for the community as a whole? And what are some things you hope for maybe like WotC or maybe any of the other companies that you talk about in your content?
Oh man, I'm going to be so for real with WotC. I've given up hoping anything from them. I truly do believe that the company is lost, and I think it's a matter of time until the magic bubble bursts, because Hasbro is driving it into the dirt. What I would like to see from the community, though, and I have been actually preaching this for years, and I want to make it clear to any other content creators in the magic space that may listen to this episode and hear what I'm about to say. These are my opinions, not the opinions of these two lovely individuals. So if you're going to get mad about these opinions, get mad at me. But one thing that I have been wanting from the community for a very long time, and it just does not seem to be going in that direction, but I have hope that someday it will, is I wish that so many magic content creators would stop gargling the balls of WotC, because it doesn't pay off like you think it does. I see this every single cycle when a Magic Con comes around and people get their Magic Con passes, and then a bunch of people don't get their Magic Con passes, and they bash themselves for not getting those Magic Con passes. As somebody who has been a featured creator at a convention, I've had a panel at a convention, I've had a meet and greet at a convention, I've gotten free passes to conventions, not just Magic, but PAX Unplugged, Awesome Con, like all kinds of different conventions.
You lost to me and Babe at Magic Con?
It does not get you what you think it does. It gets you a ticket in the door, and that is it. The swag you get for being a featured creator is objectively worse than the swag you get for just buying a pass. I didn't get the cool comic book in Atlanta. I got like a couple packs of Dragon Shields. It doesn't get you any money. They don't pay you. They don't pay for your travel. They don't pay for your food. They don't pay for your hotel. They literally just give you a badge to get in the door. And on top of that, your follower counts don't even really shift. I've been to a dozen Magic Cons at this point, maybe not that many, but like almost 10 Magic Cons, and I pay very close to my analytics. I pay very, very close attention to my analytics. After every convention, I gain maybe 5 followers. I get followers, and my channel grows when I make good content. And if I can kind of rope this opinion in so I'm not like ranting like a madman, what I see too often in the Magic community is people base their content, they base their actions, they base their statements on what will make Wizards of the Coast happy so that I can get a preview card or so that I can get a featured spot at a Magic Con. A preview card is a JPEG they email you. A pass at a Magic Con is a piece of plastic that costs $100. And, maybe getting ambassadors kind of cool because they do send you like $1,000 worth of products. So that's cool and all. But if you really want to grow as a content creator, you really want to grow as a Magic creator, just make good content. Make passionate content. Talk about the things you are passionate about. And if that passion is criticism of WotC, make that criticism. Call them out. Those videos will get views. Your viewers will respect you. People will see that you're actually standing on 10 toes and not trying to be a corporate mouthpiece for a corporation that doesn't even pay people. Like, I can't stress this enough that, getting a featured spot at a Magic Con, I know it hurts people's feelings when they don't get picked. I'm telling you as a 14-time rejectee, I get it. It sucks when you don't get picked. But when you look at just the pure numbers of it, MagicCon attendance, they only sell about 10,000 tickets. These venues can't hold that many people. The vast majority of people that consume Magic content aren't even going to these conventions. They're not going to think less of you because you didn't get to go to a MagicCon. They're not going to think less of you for that. They're going to think more of you if you make better content. So to sum all this crazy rant up, what I want to see more from the Magic community is authentic, genuine content about things they're passionate about and not things that they clearly think WotC wants them to say. End of rant.
I will say, sorry, Jose, because I don't get to talk a lot on here.
No, go for it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with this sentiment, actually, because I'm not here to be a content creator. I only came on here because I wanted to meet you. That's like 100% based truth. I just wanted to get to talk to you because you're the only creator I really do. And it wasn't even, like I said, for Magic. I'm not here to make... Yeah, I agree. I'm
the most humble man on earth.
I'm here to edit these, and we're here to get to know the creators. Whether or not WotC's involved with that is none of my business, and I don't really give a shit. I want to be here to help people tell their stories and tell them who they are, and that's what me and Jose have always kind of agreed upon with this, and whatever grows from it. If it happens to be like, oh, you guys are featured creators, oh, you guys get passes, cool. I don't give a shit, man. I want to just get to know people and let other people know that they're not alone in the community and there's outreach and things here for them. So hell yeah, keep that rant in. That's some good shit, brother.
Yeah, honestly, like, to Jase's point, like, this whole concept has been a way for me to be able to talk to creators, not because I think there's going to be some way for, I mean, obviously I want this to be successful, right? Like, anything you do, but I want to get to know the people in the community, and not just the Magic parts of them, or not just the content creator parts of them, but as people. I think both, and Jason knows that already. In Dogo, we've had conversations before. Like, and maybe you can agree that, like, I'm just a guy trying to get to know people and, like, have a good time.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what this podcast has been. It's been us talking to a number of different people who have a number of different viewpoints. Some people want to talk Magic, some people don't. And I don't care either way, because I just want to talk to people, because people are fascinating. And this whole thing can't happen without the people. Like, none of this can happen without the people. And this isn't my whole, like, wrestling, baby face, white meat baby face shtick of, like, I do it for the universe. No, I don't care about that. Like, I'm here because I want to get to know people. I want people to get to know the people that I'm getting to know, and realize that, like, they're good people, that they're fun people, that they're people with passions, and they're people who have similar annoyances to you about WotC or sets, or maybe they love the sets that you love, and you're like, hell yeah, I love Spider-Man too, and that's fantastic. Hell yeah, I love Gundam. Like, you guys have
The thing is I wouldn't have friends in Ohio at all. Because I'm not from here. I didn't move up here with family. It was just me and my wife trying to get away from Florida and COVID. And it's because of Magic that I finally made friends after living up here for like 3.5 years.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, like, and all that's amazing. And back in the day, I had a podcast myself back in the day. And that was a big part of our goal, was just getting to know people and giving them a voice. But also, this is something that, it's sort of taboo to talk about. It's okay to also low key in the back of your mind hope that this thing succeeds. And I think a lot of content creators, I guess, just ultimately need to really sit down and take stock of, like, what does success even mean to you? And to you, if being successful means that you gave a bunch of people a voice and people listened to your show and were entertained by it, like, that's a form of success. You don't have to ever make $1 to be successful. But I just, to kind of tie what we're saying into my insane psycho rant, was just that I think too many people in the Magic community have been almost brainwashed by the culture of online content creation in the Magic space to think that unless WotC emails you that JPEG of a preview card, you're not succeeding. But in all actuality, if people are willing to come on your show, people you look up to, people you like, people you want to get to know, are willing to give up their free time to come on your show and talk to you and get to know you and let you get to know them, that's a form of success, man. Like, and as far as I'm concerned, y'all are succeeding. And if WotC never gives you that JPEG, does your podcast, like, is it not as good? Like, what is that preview card going to do for you and your goals? Nothing. Yeah. Literally nothing. It's going to do absolutely nothing. So, I really respect your guys' goal here. I really respect what y'all are trying to do. And I mean, I had a lot of fun doing this, and I've really enjoyed the previous episodes. And, I think you guys got a good thing going.
I appreciate it. Yeah, the one thing I did also want to make sure you answer here is, what do you have hopes for your content as it comes, in the next months, years, whatever?
Yeah, it's a pretty simple one. I've anybody that's been watching me lately, there's been a very obvious shift into comic book stuff. I really want to be a comic book creator, and I would love to get invited to some comic book events. Maybe someday a preview to a movie. I don't know. But yeah, I just my goals and my hopes is that I'm really trying to break into the comic book space and be taken a little more seriously over there and be, well, not like seriously as in the sense of like making serious content, but like, I want people to think of me as like, oh, that's that comic book creator guy. There's a lot of big names in the comic book space that I would love to someday rub elbows with and stuff. But, it's a grind. People look at my follower numbers and they think like, oh, this will be an easy shift. But anytime you transition content, there's a growing period, because the vast majority of people know me from the previous things I've done. Like, for example, you know me as a Beyblade creator. Other people know me as a Magic creator. Very few people know me as a comic book creator. And that's my next big venture, is to leap that hurdle and be known as a comic book creator in the comic book space.
Yeah, you also got to get through that wall in comic book creation of, like, me, for instance, people who just already know so much of the weird nitty gritty stuff, and trying to find that niche audience in there to appeal to.
Yeah. And as it comes to it, if you do, like, C2E2 is a big comic book one, right? Like we were talking about this with Kim Daly's in one of our Kim's Dailies in one of our previous in Chicago, C2E2. I know a lot of wrestlers go to that, but a lot of wrestlers are also involved in writing comic books, like CM Punk, AJ Lee, Kenny Omega, a lot of the New Japan.
Kenny Omega got a shout out in Absolute Batman.
Yeah. Kenny, I do remember that. Yeah, because I mean, like all of them are also huge fucking nerds, right? Like, at the end of the day, we're all just a bunch of nerds nerding out about the shit we love. And I think the stuff that you do, it all ties in for me too, because wrestling is like basically live comic book shit, right? Like live action, theater, soap opera, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot of fun to me. But a lot of that time,
for sure,
because they're all a whole bunch of nerds who want to dress up like Sephiroth, or they want to dress up like Harley Quinn or whatever, Batman, the Joker, shout out Rey Mysterio. But I think that's a really admirable goal. I think it's possible too, because I think the stuff that you talk about is so informative. Like, to me, again, as someone who I know stuff, I probably don't know as much about Jason. I definitely don't know as much about you. So whenever you put a video out, I watch it. I'm like, oh, I learned something out of it. And I think that's a huge thing, is if in that 1 minute, 1:15, whatever, I find something out, then that's positive to me. And I love it.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate that. I'm trying really hard.
You also put respect on Condiment King's name, and I stand the fuck out of that.
I love Condiment King. He's so good. He's so stupid.
Also, just for people who haven't watched it, shout out to Kite Man, HBO Max, because that show, we're not sponsored by HBO Max, obviously, but that show is fucking hilarious. And Condiment Man is a big part of that, because him and Kite Man have huge beef, and it's hilarious.
Yep.
That's just a side.
Yeah, Kite Man's good. I've been thinking about doing a video just on Kite Man alone, but I got a lot of stuff in the can, so a lot of stuff to come first.
But Dogo, this has been an absolute blast. I know, like Jase said, he's been so excited for this conversation, and I think that shows, because you two had a lot of fun talking about stuff. I had a lot of fun listening to you talk about the stuff that I have no idea. I don't know anything, but I had a lot of fun listening to you too, because it's something that brightened your days to be able to talk to people about. And
am I supposed to like this fucking guy? Was that the goal?
I mean, you don't have to. Whatever.
Oh, good. Jeez, the pressure was killing me.
Make this woke.
You're talking, a lot of people don't. That's for another conversation. But thank you so much. Is there anything you want to plug, talk about, or anything that you got coming up?
No, I just want to, shout out our official sponsors, Al Qaeda. Rest in peace, gone too soon.
Thanks, Al Qaeda.
No, I'm sorry. No, I don't have a whole lot going on. don't have a whole lot to announce. There's a pretty good chance I'll be at MagicCon Vegas. People want to find me there. Pay attention to my social medias because that could change any day. I have a very busy offline life. But as far as like projects and stuff, no, I'm just hitting the grind, focusing on content. If you want to learn about very obscure comic book characters or occasionally watch me angrily rant about Wizards of the Coast, you can check me out on just about any social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok as MrDogoDude. Yeah, come on by, watch some funny videos, learn about a guy with a dick laser. It's a good time.
Yeah, it really is. You should go check it out. And Jase, do you want to shout anything out?
Yeah, I actually do this time, not as a joke. Once again, support your fellow neighbor. We don't have the government anymore. I know they're not shut down anymore. We still don't have the government. I'd like to shout out MrDogoDude. Thank you for being here, assuming that's your real name. And I actually I'm an affiliate with Ink Mats. Go check out Ink Mats. I have 2 designs on there now. One is for a cowgirl, which seems to be quite popular with a lot of people, and Area Keen, which I made just for Ink Mats. There's no prior posting of that design anywhere yet. There will be eventually. Yeah, go buy a playmat. We have other creators who have been on here. Ballistic, by the time this comes out, will have come out. Haley, MTG Demonic Tutor. Go check them out. They're cool playmats.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of really good people who are a part of that. Shout out to Ink Mats and Hazen, who runs that. Hazen, great dude.
Blue Collar Commander.
Blue Collar Commander, love them. And yeah, I'm really proud of you, Jase, for getting that in there. Your stuff looks great. And,
thank you. I'm officially a professional artist for the first time since I did comic book inking.
At least one
very cool.
At least one of us on here is a professional, so that's good. Because that ain't me, buddy. But seriously, Mr. Doggo, this has been a fucking blast.
Hell yeah.
I thank you for the time. You are great, and I can't wait for hopefully you to come back again, and you two can just have a Gundam episode, and I'll just take a day off.
This is going to be our Gundam rewatch podcast.
I actually really want to do something like that. I really want to.
There's no Gundam rewatch podcast. I'm going to cut this out. There's no Gundam rewatch podcast. I will do this with you. I have no clout whatsoever.
Let's fucking go. Watch parties. We can make a whole Discord about it.
Hell yes.
With that,
cool. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you having me on. It was a lot of fun and probably some of the most fun I've had on a podcast in a while. So,
Hell yeah.
Good. But with that said, everyone, thanks for joining us today on Chattergang. Just remember, when despair tries to win, counter with hope. Have a great day.
Thanks, Al.